Good morning, everybody. We are wrapping up. We're going to do the ending while we pack up. Because we filmed it last night after we got back from the ride. And we both look like a couple bags of assholes sitting there. We were pretty wore out.
Yeah. Long day.
It was 250 miles total, but it took us 7.5 hours. So on the interstate, 250 miles, so like 4 hours. And we were doing it on twisty country back roads at much lower speeds. And I estimated it would take 6 hours, but we did it 7.5. And we did stop and talk a few times, take some breaks, mill around buying souvenirs and whatnot. Viewing the scenery. But yeah, we were tired when we got back here. What was your big highlight, do you think, of the whole thing?
Getting off the bike when I was done.
Getting off the bike.
No, actually it wasn't bad. The Super Meteor is actually way more comfortable than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, I wasn't uncomfortable on that either, even after all that amount of time. Like the tops of the back of my legs, where you're sitting like on the edge of the seat, that was kind of starting to irritate me towards the end. That was it. I didn't have any shoulder or wrist pain or anything like that. You'd have to stand up and get some blood flowing to my junk a few times.
I was getting more mentally exhausted on some of the longer stretches. Like, my mind just started wandering, and that's not very safe on the bike.
But by the time you hit that last stretch of Little Creek Road, where it's really rough, the surface was kind of rough.
Yeah.
By the time you get there, you're tired. And I think if that road would have been at the beginning, we wouldn't have minded it so much. But by the time you've done everything else and you get there, you're like, oh, God.
You feel every bump.
Yeah.
Every little uneven pavement.
But we're calling that ride the Beast for a reason. I mean, it beat us up.
Yeah, it was brutal. Definitely the longest ride I've ever done.
When the biggest attraction in the area, the back of the Dragon, is like just a little portion of what we did, yeah. Most people think that's an accomplishment. That was like just a small thing along the way, really.
Yeah, some of the roads getting to it were worse, and some of the roads after it were worse. Well, not worse, but like more twisties and I'd say more difficult.
Yeah. I would say Great Field Road and getting in and out of Birch Garden were more technical than the back of the Dragon.
Yeah, that's when I was having trouble keeping up with.
Yeah, that was pretty tight, twisty. I was dancing around. Hopefully the footage works pretty well. It comes out pretty good. I was dancing in some of those spots.
Yeah, he kept leaving me. He had to keep stopping and waiting for me.
I turned it loose on the back of the Dragon once. Once or twice.
I did not. I psyched myself out with the back of the Dragon. So when I got there, I was already in my head that it was going to be like crazy difficult. So I was just keeping it slow. But then, after it was over, I'm like, wait, was that it? Like, that wasn't any worse than the roads getting there.
That was the first time either one of us had done it.
Yeah.
We knew about it. And you just had kind of a mental picture that it was going to be extreme twists and turns and switchbacks and 180-degree hairpins and things in your mind. Every 10 feet that you're going to be doing something, the whole way. Where I assumed it was going to be much tamer because of the amount of gigantic touring bikes that do that road. So I knew it was going to be no problems with these. So we kind of had different mental pictures.
Yeah, in my brain, I was going to be like Tron. Like nonstop the whole way. But it was no different than any other switchbacks going over the mountains.
Yeah, we have to keep in mind, too, that we live here. We live in the mountains. So we see roads like this basically every time we go riding. So, like when I got to the back of the Dragon, I felt it was a little bit underwhelming.
Yeah.
Just due to the amount of hype. So I think it's like tourism marketing hype.
Yeah, it was way hyped up more than it was.
So, but I understand somebody coming from Washington, D.C. down here to ride.
Yeah, so if
it would be really cool because they don't see that kind of thing every day.
Yeah.
So we have to kind of think outside of our perspective.
Yeah.
So while it was underwhelming to us, to other people, we think it might be worth checking out.
It's definitely fun, though.
And that's why we set up this ride. was to kind of help out Gearhead Junction. They're wanting to, set up kind of a destination area. Get the hat on? I don't have the shirt on. So people can start and end rides there. So we made a big loop, that encompasses some of the best roads in the area.
Yeah.
To do that. So I think we succeeded in that front.
It's very beautiful country. Like, just the scenery is just, it's worth it.
Now that backside of Nebo Mountain, that was a last minute addition. We altered the route at the last minute. We cut out the Haters Gap Widowmaker, which is a good ride, but it was a long ways to get there and a long ways back just for that one little section of road. So I put in Bear Creek Road going up the mountain, and then Nebo Road coming down. And that's a cool ride because going up, it's like potholes and loose gravel, and it's just a junk road. And you're like, why am I doing this, going up this thing? But once you crest it and start that descent, the road turns to glass.
Yeah, smooth.
It's smooth, and it is just beautiful up there. So one of the most serene things you'll see anywhere, really. That's a beautiful, beautiful ride.
The tower was kind of cool.
Yeah.
I didn't go up it.
I didn't go up it either. I was going to. I was really debating. I was tired, but I was debating going up it until I saw the price sign. And I was like, I ain't paying $8 to go up this thing. You could pay me $8. I might go up there. But other than that, I wasn't paying to go up it.
Yeah, I was too tired at that point. I knew I was dehydrated already, and if I did that, I would have to really eat something and get hydrated again, and then that would have added more time.
Yeah. Neither one of us tried the chocolate covered bacon.
Chocolate covered bacon.
I saw that. I was like,
well, it was spicy chocolate covered bacon.
Well, I might have tried a free sample, but I wasn't buying it to test it out.
Yeah. Well, I was worried, when I'm on trips like this, I try to eat really bland so my stomach doesn't act up.
I don't care. I'll eat spicy shit and I'll be in the weeds on the side of the road.
Well, I did
wiping with my sock.
I did bring toilet paper on the ride just in case. I did get a bee in my jacket. That was fun.
I took a grasshopper into the helmet at one point. And I had to pick it out. It was splattered on the side of my face, stuck in the helmet, and I'm digging it out while I'm riding.
Well, luckily mine we just stopped. And as soon as we stopped, something came in my jacket, stung me here, it was biting me or something.
Yeah, I pulled over to check the map, and he pulled up alongside me. Next thing I know, he's getting his kickstand down, screaming, jumping off the bike, stripping out.
I'm throwing stuff. I'm trying to get my.
I'm like, what? He's like, a bee, I got a bee in me.
Oh,
that was a good time, though. That's the kind of thing that these trips are about. It's not just about the ride, it's about experiencing it and doing this, what we did here. We're at the Eggleston Springs campground, and we got this campsite with overhead cover, so we can just park the bikes underneath it and not even use our rain flies on our tent. Yeah, this has been really nice, except for the trains.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a train goes through here every hour. Anything else we got to talk about?
No, it's fun. I would definitely recommend it on a weekday.
Yeah.
If it was, when we pulled into the back of the Dragon bar or whatever store, it was empty. It was 3 other bikers there, and the whole ride we passed people, but it wasn't like the videos you see where it's hundreds of people.
Yeah, it wasn't packed.
It was hardly anybody on
We
most
didn't
of
see
the
a single sport bike all day.
Did not. We saw a bunch of dudes in KLRs with shorts on.
Yeah, shorts and t-shirts and riding KLRs. And it wasn't the same people over and over again. It was different people.
Yeah.
All day long.
From different
We
states.
kept seeing them. We're yeah, I'm not one to preach, people's motorcycle gear and stuff, but that's a little minimalist.
I felt under-geared, underprotected, just wearing jeans because I don't have riding pants that fit me right now because I've lost some weight. And I ordered new jackets, smaller, but I just totally forgot to order new pants. So I felt under protected. And then here's dudes in flip-flops and on Harleys and flip-flops, and I'm like, oh man. So I don't feel bad now.
Yeah, we were the only Royal Enfields. We did get stopped and asked about them several times.
Yeah.
And that one lady wanted to take our picture in front of that store.
Yeah. So, yeah, some guys from Pennsylvania were down there, like a KLR, a Beamer GS, and a big, huge Harley. The
Trying to get out of the parking lot.
the dude on the Harley. I mean, this bike was huge. It was like big as my Ram truck, man. It was huge.
He's a Harley FL.
And this guy, he gets on it. And it's a slight hill where he was parked, and he was parked, downhill.
In gravel.
And he was like sliding, trying to push his bike up, and I was about to be like, dude, get your camera. Because I thought he was going to drop it for sure, because he couldn't lift it. He was like moving it, it's sliding. He was moving it, and I'm like, oh man, that's way too much bike. But yeah, those guys are pretty cool.
Good times. Yeah, I would like to have gotten more like off the camera footage, like set up the camera while we're in that parking lot and see things like that. I'd like to have gotten that kind of stuff on camera.
Yeah.
But we were so pressed for time and getting so tired that I just wasn't pulling the camera out and setting it up.
Yeah, we did way more riding than we did filming.
I wanted to get more off the mic footage than what I actually got. So hopefully the video is still entertaining even without it. Hopefully I got enough B-roll and stuff like that.
It was definitely a fun trip.
Yeah, we'll do it again. Joe Boo was pissed because he didn't get a whole lot of camera time. Didn't get a whole lot of FaceTime. Like I said, we were kind of being pressed, starting to get pressed for time.
We got a couple good shots of him.
Yeah. He got to hang out at the overlooks and things like that.
I got to stare at him.
I was going to get shots of him at Birch Garden at the Amish store. But after that old guy was kind of an asshole. I was like, no,
yeah.
That.
Yeah, he didn't deserve our money.
Yeah, we didn't spend any money at Birch Garden because the owner of that little store that we stopped at was a bit of a jerk.
Yeah, it's kind of rude.
Yeah. That's about all I'll say about it, but we just kind of packed up and left after speaking with the owner. What other attractions did we stop at? We already talked about the lookout, the back of the Dragon store. That's all right. If you want to buy a t-shirt, that's what I did. I bought a shirt. You bought a couple of shirts.
I bought 2 t-shirts and a pair of gloves.
Yeah, it's basically a knick-knack store, and you can buy beer.
Yeah, which
The urinals were kind of cool.
Yeah, I didn't go in there. I saw the picture.
I went in there to go to the bathroom. I was like, I got to take a picture of that. So you'll see those. They were old kegs. They cut up old kegs and turned them into urinals. Yeah. They're like rusted. I was like,
pretty cool.
It works, I guess. What else do we see? Oh, the Mountain Lake Resort. Now we might cut that section out. That would save 15 miles if we cut that out.
Yeah, it's really not much to see.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot to do there. The road's not spectacular where I can say, oh, you got to ride this road. I can't really say that. It's typical mountain road.
Nobody puts Joe Boo in the corner.
Nothing out of the ordinary. And the resort, we were out of place because that's kind of a high hoity-toity place. And so us showing up looking like this on a couple of loud-ass bikes.
Yeah, people were just staring at us.
Kind of staring at us.
What are you doing here?
While we stopped and kind of pointed some things out. And that's not like someplace, I don't know, maybe instead of camping here, you might, if you stayed up there, it might be okay. But it's not a destination to go to see something and come back. Because the lake's gone. I mean, there's nothing to see there.
Yeah. And I haven't seen the movie in so long that I actually forgot what it looks like.
Yeah, so you can probably cut that part out.
We did find one little cool campground that I would like to come back on the Himalayan.
Which one?
That one that we stopped at, we had all the rocks in the water.
Oh, yeah. Well, that wasn't an official campground. I don't know if you can camp there.
Small game warden, drop that meat, mister.
We just pulled in there because we were behind a couple of large trucks that were holding up traffic. So we just pulled in there just to let them get some distance in front of us. And I'm glad we did because the end of that road.
Yeah, that was a nice road.
Yeah, we didn't need traffic in front of us at that point. Trails, and there was a campfire had been there. I'll say that much. I don't know if it was a campsite. But I didn't see anything that said camping was available. It is national forest. So
yeah.
I don't know.
It might be a gray area, but with the Himalayan you could
stealth camp in there.
Get a little bit past the road. I'm not suggesting.
But there were campgrounds all along the route.
Yeah.
Yeah, there were a lot of campgrounds. You didn't have to stay here.
If I can cut down my gear and go bare bones minimum without the extra weight, I would like to do that and kind of maybe split it up and
You
camp.
can't camp along the way.
Yeah.
The points.
Because we thought about doing that, and I'm glad we didn't, because it wouldn't have been safe for me with that backpack on. Like that was.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have even rode down here with it. I almost had the wife bring my backpack, or haul the bike on the truck. But then I'm like,
Then you wouldn't be a real biker.
I can't haul my bike on the truck. That's just silly.
You never heard the end of it.
Yeah. So I couldn't do that. So yeah, hopefully next time I'll actually plan and have stuff ahead of time.
Maybe I could start like hosting that ride. Make it like an annual thing. Definitely have to have Gearhead make us up some shirts. Because if you complete that ride in a day, you've done something. To put it that way.
Yeah, it's definitely the longest I think I've ridden. Well, the longest I've ridden that wasn't straight highway miles.
Yeah. Now that we've seen the route and everything, or the route, we know what's what. So like I said, we probably cut out Mountain Lake, and I think if we tightened it up there, everything else would be good to go. Little Creek Road's a little rough, and going up Bear Creek Road at the mountain is a little rough, but that's definitely worth it. I think if they repaved Little Creek, that'd be a really nice road.
Well, hopefully that's what the patches are. Maybe they're planning on paving it.
Hopefully, because it was pretty rough.
One of those first roads we got on, it was like brand new.
Yeah.
And they even had like weird,
The reflector,
like the temporary ones.
that's 61. That's fresh pavement.
Oh, that was nice. So we should end it on that road. Where it's just like smooth out.
Actually, but that's where you start. You start on the smoothest road on the whole thing, and then you end it on one of the roughest roads.
Yeah, maybe we should go backwards.
And you're just kind of beat up by the time you get to the end of it. I mean, you feel like you did something.
Yeah.
By the time we got back here, we felt like we accomplished something.
Yeah, towards the end, when I was hit, if I saw a bump I didn't see, I couldn't brace for, with the forward foot controls, man, some of those bumps hurt, like the middle of my spine. It was like, oh, I'm just like, oh. Like I'm probably on camera, like yelling, like, oh, that hurt, oh. Yeah, that sucks. I might have to switch the pegs. I don't know. I mean, I really like it, but every once in a while, some of those bumps, they freaking hurt. It goes right to your spine.
Yeah, I'll try to get some of your footage, see if I can intermingle it with mine.
Yeah, I'll go through mine and send it to you.
I was hoping to get like some reaction videos from you going, holy shit. Because I didn't talk at all through mine, so I'm trying to just get the engine noise, and I'll do like a little voiceover.
Oh, I just
narrate it. And you're just back there.
Those are probably really fun on a Meteor's bike. That forward, that leaning forward position. Not so fun on a cruiser. At least for me. I don't know, man. Gotta get it out of my head. Don't overthink it, just ride. I'm like, there goes Vito. He's, I lost him.
He's gone.
And I'm like, I'm just putting around. Because, I mean, the way I looked at it, like, I wasn't, like, probably when we first started riding a couple years ago, I probably would have tried to keep up with you and probably would have crashed, for sure.
Yeah, that's why I told you at that one point, like, do not, if you don't feel comfortable, do not try, because I'm just playing. I'm not trying to race you.
Yeah.
I'm just playing. If you don't feel like you can do that, I'll wait for you. Don't worry. Because once I got to points where I couldn't see you in my mirrors anymore, I would slow down.
Yeah.
Or I would just pull over and wait. That's not a big deal. I don't mind doing that.
Yeah, the younger me would have tried to keep up, but probably would have crashed. And the older me now is like, yo, Voodoo's been riding like way longer than me. So it's all right that he could ride way better.
I'll see him in a little while.
Yeah. He's a better rider. I'm not even going to attempt it. And I think that's about my buddy from Northern Virginia. Well, now he's down in Florida. That's what he told me. He's been riding way longer than me too. And he was like, dude, just ride your bike
Yeah.
Don't try to keep up with anybody. If you don't feel safe, slow down.
Ride your own ride.
Yeah, he's like, you're just
don't
riding.
ride somebody else's ride.
Yeah. So that's kind of what I did, was just,
You're all going to meet up at some point.
yeah. It's not worth it to try to go faster on some of those curves, because it's just not worth it.
Yeah, I wasn't like pushing it to the edge or anything. Yeah, I was, riding pretty spiritedly, but I didn't. Those roads are new to me too, so I didn't know exactly what's coming around the turn, so I had to be, a little bit careful. Something like that.
Yeah, that's the only thing I don't like, is if I can't see the curve, what's beyond the turn, like, I'll slow down, just because I don't know what's there. I don't know if there's a log. Well, we did see a couple logs down across the.
You see me one time? I was like flashing my brakes trying to get your
Yeah.
attention. As soon as you ran around that corner, I was like, I hope he sees me, because there was like a deadfall in the road, and I had to like kind of work my way through it a little bit.
Yeah, it's not worth it to go too fast. But that was weird, though. I didn't see any sport bikes.
Yeah, like I said, we didn't see a single one.
I figured they
Come back on the weekend, I bet you see a buttload of them.
I bet you they tear it
They're
up.
all working at McDonald's right now. As soon as they get off shift, weekend rolls around.
They'd be hitting those corners at like 90. I bet you they have like a who can do it the fastest.
Huh?
I bet you they do like a who can do it the fastest.
Yeah, there's probably some like black site with like times written on it. Who did the back of the Dragon and what time, what the record is, and all that stuff. Some kind of underground race bike scene, probably.
It was nice.
I
It wasn't
bet it
crowded, because not once was somebody behind me where I felt like I had to go faster.
Yeah, we never got pushed or anything.
That was awesome.
We did get behind that one car on the back of the Dragon. And that wasn't a bad spot either. I probably would have hauled ass through there, but that car held us up. And
Well, I kept sitting there. Here comes this, like, we pull up behind this car. So we slowed down because the car was going slow. And I'm like, oh no, there's a car, so we have to go slow.
and I'm like, oh no, there's a car, we gotta go slow.
I'm like, oh, yes,
We had like
too slow.
two completely different perspectives of being stuck behind this car. I'm like, wanting this car to pull over and get out of our way so we can get through there.
At that
And
point,
he's like, screw
I
it.
was glad. I was like, all right, now I can relax.
Let me get up on my forward controls and just kick back and ride.
It's kind of nice that this car is going so slow. Oh man, this is like seriously. I mean, oh no, I'm going slow. I think the bike does change your attitude. Like,
Yeah.
I test rode the GT and I just wanted to go faster. Like, it just felt. I mean, you saw me. I was flipping through the gears like nothing. And I just wanted to keep going
It's
faster.
just a change of attitude.
Yeah.
It's a whole different attitude. Like I said, next thing you know, you're gonna have fringe hanging off your fucking sleeves. You're gonna
Yeah.
have tassels hanging off that.
Some tassels.
You're gonna get a big sissy bar back here. Next time I see you, I know what you're gonna be doing.
I'm gonna be like,
You're gonna have an axe handle,
I'm gonna have the handlebars up here.
bungee cord, get some ape hangers on it. You'll be doing Sons of Anarchy shit.
Now I'm thinking about
you.
what was it, Paul Newman? Who was that guy?
Wasn't Paul Newman, it was. Now I'm gonna have to edit right here while we sit here and let our minds do the fucking Jeopardy music while we think of who that was.
What was his name?
Fonda. Peter Fonda.
Peter Fonda. That's the dumbest bike I've ever seen in my life.
It is. I like Billy's bike, the one Dennis Hopper was riding.
Yeah.
I thought that was the better bike of the two of them. We're talking about the Easy Rider movie.
Yeah, Easy Rider. Yeah, but that's a famous bike now, though.
That bike got stolen.
Really?
I think like right when they got done filming, somebody stole that bike and they've never found it.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's like missing. Still to this day. All right, let's wrap this up. This video is going to be long. Like I said, now it's going to be its own separate video.
Let's make a series.
Yeah. All right. Hopefully you guys enjoyed our little camping mess, and hopefully the ride video turned out great and you guys enjoyed that too. So, and like I said, I might think about that. Maybe I'll host like Uncle Voodoo's Beast of the East ride annually or something like that. Maybe I'll try to set something up.
Yeah.
I'll talk with Terry and see if I'll make us up some t-shirts and stuff.
Maybe I'll start posting on YouTube again. But I am on X.
Well, I'll put a link to his channel.
I am on X, though.
X. It's Twitter. You say Twitter.
Yeah, I call it Twitter,
X.
too.
Yeah, that was like the dumbest.
That was dumb.
You
bought the
buy it-
domain.
It's like buying McDonald's. All right.
They call it, like,
Yeah, I'm buying
Joe's.
McDonald's and I'm changing the name to Tom's Burgers. That'll catch on. No, I'll just change it to a letter. It's Z. Changing McDonald's to Z. You want a Zig Mac? All right, we're killing the video. We're cutting this off. Take care, everybody.
See ya.